I'm consistently looking for, or we even as a company look for, is someone who's truly trying to be themselves. And I know that's such a vague maybe description of a characteristic in an employee or a person generally, but it's I think finding your own unique true passion and really living by it. There's always going to be jobs where you have to, as you mentioned, compete with another maybe 100 creatives for a specific kind of niche job and everything. There's always the scope and requirement that you're trying to meet for those jobs or those roles or placements or whatever. But I think still carrying out some sort of a unique message to yourself and something that really stands by you, something that you feel truly passionate about, is something that always stands out to me. You always can see when people have like, interact with certain, maybe like add on a certain tiny characteristics to their own style, even in, shot creation, when we do our sequences, when we create our shots and we even put them into sequences and everything, there's a certain way that I know my artists carry out their work. And our supervisors looking at those shots, they consistently ask to work with those artists again because they know those unique characteristics to those artists. I think in the past, I've been interviewing people and I've been running interviews for the past 8 9 years. So it's been a while. So I've seen thousands of CVs and what stands out and what does not. I think what really is important to me personally is, um, when people actually do research, when they actually really prep before an interview. And I don't mean knowing the dry facts of when the company was founded or what office it has started in. I feel like it's about more so of who we are as a company and how does the candidate or you as a potential employee are perceiving us as a business, because that really what makes me think you really want to be a part of us, because you've done this research, you looked into us. What culture does the company stand for? What values do they carry? What opportunities have you seen progressing? Have you looked at the employees on the LinkedIn page? Have the employees stayed there for years and years, potentially progressing their careers within that same company? What makes you happy? What makes you tick? So I think definitely research and a little bit more of a kind of background knowledge and really putting the time, because you know it is a very mutual respected interview, of people making time, which kind of leads me to the second point of, honestly, just relax, because I feel like I meet so many candidates who are coming in super nervous or like even potentially gets a stutter, which is completely fine, but what you always need to remind yourself is that even when you're looking for a job or your next challenge, your next placement, this company that you interview with is also looking for someone to fill in the role. This is completely mutual space. Like the company needs for someone to do the job and you need to find a job. So it's completely like we're completely on the same ground level, like as much as you're looking for a job, we're as much looking for an employee. Just be yourself, relax, don't get nervous. Usually these interviews are like so draining to people, but even listening to my friends, I'm like, yeah, but they're looking for an employee. It's fine. Like you're there for a reason. Like they're not making you a favor because we're actually looking for someone to do the job. Quite recently, as the company, we actually released a survey where we asked employees what is most important to them, because we're trying to kind of get back into this maybe a little bit more present, um, platform to get a little bit more face-to-face time. So what would make them engage with the office environment a little bit more, because we're still working on a very flexible kind of setup, but we want people to feel like they're a part of something, kind of come back to the offices. So basically, ask what would engage with you. I think the biggest trend that I've seen in turning 3 years ago, it used to be, something a very confidential travel card, cycle to work schemes, or, some sort of expenses coverage for commute. Now, after the whole what happened in the world, I see a major shift towards the well-being, the mental health, and the actual, kind of just human being, the work and life balance, and all of those things. Um, I think that the most important part in benefits in terms of kind of our industry and what I'm seeing trending more and more in our competitive business, but also ourselves, is definitely focus on well-being. What can be engaging with staff in terms of their kind of not only physical well-being but definitely mental well-being, looking into some sort of incentives of people getting more active, proactive. What we do as a company, we have this like well-being and a reward app, which is really cool, and it has leaderboard. It got really competitive, but it's still fine, it's still manageable. um, we also do yoga in the office because we have like a huge space that engages with staff so much. We finish work at 6 on Wednesdays, actually, which is today. We have 15 minutes for breathing exercises and really tuning in into kind of our, just selves. And then we have yoga for 45 minutes, which, I feel like that shift is growing more and more employees. I think what really attracts and retains the talent at the third floor is the the really high quality people that we actually work with. They are extremely talented. The the setting in this company, and when I joined this company 4 years ago, it's probably the first company where I definitely feel like, even when I have really bad days, or everyone has bad days, like I look at my colleagues and they actually not only support me, they actually inspire me. There's such a beautiful, creative, and kind of supporting ecosystem here, and that is the culture that the founders of a company really ingrained into this company. This company has started almost 20 years ago in LA, expanded into London, and we still carry those kind of core values and the core culture at heart. That is the key component of why, sometimes we have junior staff joining, staying with us for a year, maybe two, then going off on another adventure at another company. We still do come back because this is just how we are. This is just the third floor at its core. Additionally to that, I think it is the benefits and kind of the well-being aspect and the work-life balance. Um, we are the company where we very rarely going to be allowing people to work overtime. That is under only like certain circumstances. We're very much 9 to 6, clock out, go do some yoga, go have a drink at the local pub in Soho, and just relax. Like it's so important to us that we continue that whilst servicing a really intense and complex industry that probably never really sleeps because we work internationally too. But that's something that really attracts people and retains staff. And I think the third one is truly the values of what we stand as a company. We're very innovative. We want to try new things. We consistently look into new business ventures, continuously looking into personal development, continually looking into actual like training to the company as it is. So there's a lot of progression. There's a lot of kind of innovation. There's a lot of, again, support and that kind of cultural aspect, which just tie us in into this like a really nitty gritty spider web links, where all of those tiny links, even if you're a junior or you're just a apprentice, you're still a very important link in that spider web. And I think that what makes this company such a great company to work in. We had people who worked here for many, many years, and I mean decades and decades. So I think that's a true core statement about what we stand for. And I hope that other companies also start doing that, just to change this whole industry and to move a little bit more into more value for the talents and appreciation, recognition, but also just complete full balance in supporting these talented artists across the board.